Hello and welcome to InTransit. My guest today is Sanjeev Verma, a Canada-based Vedic expert who uses this knowledge along with thought transformation to empower and advise corporates on stress management. Welcome to our show, Sanjeev.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Okay, Sanjeev. My first question is, what do you mean by the law of attraction?
Law of attraction is essentially whatever we are experiencing in our life, we attract it. And we attract it through our thought process. How we think, how we apply our thoughts in this world, what our belief systems are, and how we have been conditioned towards different aspects of life. For example, for money, for relationship, for growth, for creativity, for good health. So whenever there is a block in it, then we are creating a block in attracting those good things in life. And at the same time, when we are having a good experience of any one of these things, any aspect of life, we have actually attracted it in our life through our thoughts, through our desires, and putting in energy behind a thought.
So to bring about positive thoughts, to attract the good law, you have to bring about thought transformation, right?
Thought transformation is very important if you are in the negative frame of mind.
Yes.
And you are mostly thinking negatively, then you have to kind of change your station.
How do you do that?
Well, there are some processes to do it, and what happens is that most of our thoughts, they go and sit into our memory, and they create our conditioning and belief system from there. Whatever we have learned in our childhood through our exposure to the world, through our five senses, we have received a lot of information, and whatever we have experienced and been taught by the society, by teachers, by parents, by peers, all that makes us a package of conditionings. And those conditionings, they determine how we are going to react in a certain situation. So once we identify that I've been conditioned this way, and this is my conditioning, and if we do contemplation and self-inquiry, we can definitely look into our own personality. And then there is a scope for making a change in it. So all these thoughts, all these conditionings, they first go into memory and then slide into our subconscious mind. And when we have given too much energy to a thought which is in subconscious mind, some point of time in your life it's going to come at fruition, as an experience. And that experience could be a good experience or could be a bad experience. Depends on what kind of thinking you have been doing. So, and that is essentially in Vedas or in Gita has been called the Sanchit karma, accumulated karma, accumulated impressions in your mental field. And they remain in seed form first, and whenever they have been given enough energy, or they come to fruition. So sometimes we can control the fruition time by putting in positive thoughts and positive energy and positive thinking. There are processes of visualization, processes of affirmation, and affirmation is essentially some sort of a mantra. And you enforce a thought into subconscious mind and bound it with time, so you get the result in this lifetime, and maybe in certain time frame, maybe in a year's time or something. So you can cap it also in a way.
Right. But Sanjeev, how does Vedic knowledge, which you apply, and which is ancient, help in reducing stress in a modern corporate world?
It's very okay. It's human factor in corporate world. What a corporation is actually is a bunch of people put together in certain environment,
Right.
doing certain type of work, and which is related with economics and maybe some sort of business and some, So all, end of the day, they are all human beings. They have their reactions and they have their thinking processes. They have their emotions. They have health issues and everything together. When the pressure is being put on a human being to the point where this person has to get out of his comfort zone, then that person has to sort of perform out of his boundaries, and then that person is stressed out. So the Vedic knowledge expands that comfort zone to the point that everything falls into it. So meditation is one part of it. Understanding your mind is another part of it. Being aware of your thoughts is another part of it. How to relax is a thing of mind. Body relaxes when mind is relaxed. So mind is essentially nothing else but a field which is filled with thoughts. So if you can handle your thought, then you're handling your mind, and it will handle your body. So everything starts with a thought and ends up at there.
So do
the
mantras,
bottom line.
do mantras help expand that comfort zone?
Yeah, they do, because mind is something like, it's like a record. You put the needle at the end, and as the record goes on and on, the needle slowly goes down into the center. So a thought comes from outer periphery, and as you start to give it some strength, it from outer starts to go slowly into your center. Now a mantra is a total repetition of the same words from the outer to the inner. So as it gets into your inner core, more deeper into your mind field, it becomes more and more stronger. Now the mantras, they have certain type of vibrations, and each sound has some kind of frequency and some vibration to it. So it is a great research of our rishis that they pinpointed that these certain sounds have certain vibrations and certain frequencies which are extremely good for human mind and body. So they are well researched, and there are a lot of positive effects of them which has been proven and seen in last thousands of years, and they do really work because they get deeper into your mental field, and it's like creating a positive vibration or positive affirmation into your mind field forcefully. Instead of letting your mind wander wherever it wants to, you focus it or channelize it into one direction through a mantra. So mantra is your channeling energy, which sort of, it's like you focus light and focus it really through a little glass, then it can burn something. If you focus water, it can create electricity. If you focus air, it can create a hole in the wall. So it's the same thing. If you focus your mind and energy into this thing, it can become a very sharp weapon, anyway, if you want to use it that way.
Right. When you were talking to me about the kind of work you do, to me it also seemed that it included elements of modern psychology. Psychology is a science.
Sure.
Even now it's being debated. It's been debated for some time that our rishis and our mantras have a scientific element to them. In fact, the Vedas, whatever, it's probably less philosophy and more science. That's what's being discovered slowly. So how true, according to you, how true is that? And what has research in the West come to? What kind of a conclusion have they come to?
Well, the advantage of today's modern science is that it can endorse the discoveries which were made by our rishis. and they have enough equipment now to prove that, okay, certain sound has certain kind of vibration or certain kind of frequency it is vibrating at, and it is going in the universe and hitting same frequencies or same vibrations somewhere there in the cosmic mind, and we all live in the cosmic mind, and what we generate through sound or through our mental thought vibrations, they go and look for the same in the universe because they are already existing there. We cannot have a thought which is already not out there in the universe. So they go out and connect with the same frequency, and the experience happens, and this is the experience we feel as a human being because we are the field of experience. Now, how modern science is connected with that in a way is,
how is it validating it?
Validating it is that they are actually surprised that all these things were discovered so many thousands of years back, and they are unfolding now through science, and it is, I would say, positively endorsed by all scientific processes.
We're going in for a very brief break, Sanjeev. We'll be back in a few moments.
Sure.
Don't go away. Stay on the other sides of your television sets. Welcome back to InTransit, and I'm chatting with Sanjeev Verma, a motivational speaker who works on thought transformation. Okay, Sanjeev, can you just detail the law of attraction a little more? How does it work in an individual's life?
Sure. Anything in this universe is a thought, actually. It was thought of maybe God to create this universe, which is in the physical form now. Looking at this cup here, it was originally someone's thought, which has been put together, and it still has this thought energy. It was a creative idea or a creative thought. When we take the help of matter and put together a thought in shape, in a physical form, it becomes a material world. And in material world, it is visible, either in an image or in a word form. So if I say, what is it? You would say it's a cup, because you know its image and you know the word. Now if it's in a different language, then it would be said in a different language. But image and word is going to be the two ways of expressing it, or visualizing it, or either saying it. So the law of attraction is actually a thought. Say you want to have a car, a dream car, and you say, I want to have that BMW. So you have the image of BMW, you know the name of BMW, how it looks. So there is a image, thought, word about it. Okay, this is what BMW is like. Now when you want to have it in your life as an experience, it has to be generated from your thought first. So you would feel that, okay, I want to have this. Now you don't have any resources and you still want to have it. It can happen even then, because it is thought energy. So how much energy you are going to give to that thought of having BMW is going to depend on that.
Of course, it's not just the thought energy, it's also the energy of the mantras that you have to use.
No, it is
anything else?
It is, yeah, it is. It's not going to be a mantra from, I would say, Vedas or a regular mantra, but you can create your own mantra, and we call it affirmation. And the affirmation is like, for example, of this BMW, that I'm enjoying my BMW. So if you keep repeating it and visualize this BMW parked in your garage or in your driveway, and you feel that you're driving it, and you feel it in your core that it belongs to you, and it's all in your visualization or in your mind, then that experience is going to take place.
Is thought God, or is God an entity that intensifies that thought and experience?
See, God is actually shunya. It's, it has no image. It has no word. It cannot be bound in words and image also. It's consciousness. We live in consciousness. We live in the sea of consciousness. And suppose there is a sea out there, and you are looking at a wave, and and that this wave is thinking that I am different from this sea. Then the wave is sort of mistaken. So we are little drops popping out of the sea.
These thoughts are little drops in the ocean that is God. Is that what you're saying?
No, these thoughts are just another aspect of it, another part of it. It's just, it's like a drop which has popped out of the sea, and this drop thinks I am the sea, you know. And this is how we also think that I am the sea. That's why we have such big egos. We think we are.
But are we not part of that sea? I mean, do I not have God inside me? Don't you have God inside you?
Absolutely, absolutely. In and out both. In and out both. And we are vibrating within God, and God is vibrating within us. And we are just the interception between the outer and inner. But in this whole scheme of things, we start to detach ourselves from that consciousness, outer, inner, and from the universe. We try to become an individual, and that's where our ego becomes very powerful and takes us as an individual. But we are not. We are part of universe, and we are like any other little particle vibrating.
A little bit of hair splitting from my side.
Yes.
Is God an entity, or is he a thought which comes out of our minds that we give energy to?
Whether you believe in it or not, whether you think about it or not, whether you taste it or not, it is there, and it is going to remain there. Whether the sun is there, if you
the sun is an entity. So God, you're saying God is an entity.
Entity, yeah, it is there, but it's a reality, you know, and everything is living within it. So believing that it's not living in it is a mistake. A fish which is living at the bottom of the sea doesn't know the height of it, doesn't know how big or vast a sea is, so it has no idea. So it's the same thing with us. We are somewhere in that ocean somewhere, and we don't know the vastness of it.
Right. What is the role of destiny in human life, according to you?
Destiny is essentially destiny. There is destiny, and yet there's no destiny. Destiny is there to explain our karma. Destiny is something which has been pre-recorded DVD of our life based on our karmas from the past lives, accumulated karma, and we also call them prarabdha karma, and they all have come together to create this life, which we call destiny, but it is again our karma only unfolding.
So you have a strong belief in reincarnation?
Absolutely. Yes. It's the unfolding of our pre-recorded DVD. I always give this example that our lives are like pre-recorded DVDs. You put it in a DVD player, and digital reader is going to read this DVD and unfold the story. And our case, our DVD player is this universe. We have been put into it, and time is the digital reader which is unfolding our story. So story of 100 years or 70 years or 3 hours is the same concept. There is very little editing can be done in it. Editor is definitely God, who can make a little bit of difference in the intensity of your experiences.
So what is the purpose of existence? What do you feel?
Purpose of whole existence or existence
Purpose
of a
of human
being?
existence. Okay.
Purpose of human existence is like any other element on the earth. It's or any other animal or bird or any living being. Just to be here, and it's a bhog bhumi where you balance your karma. So be here and balance your karma and be part of it. And evolve. Evolve as a human being in terms of evolving your mind to the point of making it mindless. And we call it evolution, but actually it is dissolution. You dissolve your mind and you become one with the cosmic mind. So we are here just to, evolve.
Well, it all sounds very complicated, and in today's busy life, isn't there any shortcut to learning about spirituality?
Yeah, definitely. Spirituality is very simple also at the same time, that you don't have to go too much into theory or philosophy of it or the science of spirituality also. Spirituality is simply believing in one thing, that is you are God. And once you start to believe in that you have every element which God has, then and you are in a seed form and you are slowly unfolding and becoming that tree, then imagine the power you have.
So basically you're saying that faith is the first and maybe the last step to learning, and learning quickly about spirituality. Am I right?
Yeah, faith is very, very important. If either you see in spirituality you go onto any one extreme. Either you go into the extreme of not believing it at all, have zero faith, and let the experience or let the God prove himself to you. Okay, and so it's a process. Mind is one thing which is in between God and us. And when mind drops, then this whole experience takes place. Again, we are getting into the philosophy and the theoretical part of it.
There's no end to the discussion.
But the bottom line is that there are three simple steps to be spiritual. One is that you do some kind of mantra to stabilize your mind. Instead of having a scattered mind, your mind has to become focused. And it has to be focused more towards an energy which is very positive. So mantra energy is directed towards God, and nothing can be more positive than that. So you direct your mental energy into that. So your mind doesn't run all over the place. It's not so scattered. Secondly is, again, you do meditation. Meditation is a very simple process of being aware of your thoughts and letting them go. You are standing on a crossroad. Traffic is coming and going. So there's a good traffic, bad traffic. It's a beautiful car or a garbage truck. Doesn't matter, whatever. You don't go and sit in that car and drive along. So thoughts are like those cars. There's sometimes garbage truck is coming and there's a beautiful car is coming. So you don't sit in either one of the two. So let them go. Just let them go. And then the thought process slows down. There are not so many thoughts coming in your mind. And as that reduces, you start to know more about yourself, that there is more to yourself. And we are a bundle of conditionings, and start to believe in that you're not Sohela, not this, not that, not that. So as you eliminate all of those, again, you establish yourself into something who you are.
Right.
So doing mantra, doing meditation in an aware way is definitely going to give rise to new knowledge. The moment you close your eyes, you're disconnected from the outer world.
Right.
And your senses are now going inside. So when they go in there, they start to discover the inner world. So just sitting down and closing your eyes is a powerful spiritual experience in a way, because now you are trying to look into something which you have never looked into before. So the more you look into, deeper you go into, the more you will see the inner world, and the faith becomes more and more stronger, and you get to have new experiences of inner world.
Right. Sanjeev, what do you feel about Vedic astrology? Does it have a scientific basis?
Anything and everything which is called science is actually the discovery of nature of law of nature, actually. Anything which is in the universe, which is already existing there, it's just the unfolding of it or the discovery of it by some researchers or by some scientists. Science actually is not creating anything as such, but it is exploiting the laws of nature in a way, and based on that making a building or making a wheel or using the alphabets or using the sounds or using the zero numbers or everything. It's all part of the universe as it is, and it's been only been discovered and has been applied in different ways into different systems, and is being considered as science or maths or whatever it is, angles, but it's all there already.
Right,
just,
right.
You know, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sanjeev, and giving us this very interesting information.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Not at all, and all the best for the rest of your visit to Delhi.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of InTransit. We will return next week, same time, for yet another eminent personality transiting through the capital. Until then, goodbye.